Hey, it is the Fantasy NBA today. I'm Rick Kamla, and we are going to, we think, have Hall of Famer Steve Alexander with us at some point during this show. But we are pressing on here, guys. And we've got a cool show planned for you, okay? We've also got some breaking news that I'll hit you with in just a moment. We are going to get into the biggest surprises and the biggest letdowns in fantasy basketball for the 2024-25 season, the season that that just went down. And then we will also look a little bit at some Dynasty Buy-Low, some Dynasty Sell-High, because obviously, guys, in a redraft league, you know, your league is over. Hopefully you won the chip. And next year, you're either not going to play in that league or you are, and it's a redraft. And so you'll still have the same opportunity to get all the big boys. Dynasty, you keep your team year after year after year. You build it, you morph it, you hug it, you nurture it, you treat it like one of your children, or at least fantasy children. And, you know, you water the lawn and you groom it, okay? And you keep everything perfect, right? How you do that is trades. And we're going to get into that. Dynasty Buy-Low and Dynasty Sell-High, and also the surprises and letdowns from this season. All right, we got a bunch of breaking news today. We learned this morning that, and you can watch my reaction for this on the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla. It will be out at Ethos Fantasy NBA and also at Rick Kamla Sports. I'll certainly retweet it in case you missed it. But talked a lot about the Pelicans letting go of David Griffin, keeping Willie Green, according to reports. I'm still kind of waiting on the Shams bomb that, yeah, they came to their senses and they have let go of Willie Green as well. Doesn't make any sense to me to, first of all, they fired the wrong guy. But like, if you're going to get a new GM, you got to blow out the coach too and let the GM like recreate the team in his own image. I mean, I guess it worked in Portland for Neil Olshey to hire Chauncey. Cronin took over, and now Cronin and Billups got extended. I would say that's an exception to the rule. I would say that's a little bit of a rarity. Okay, so we have that news going on there. Looks like Willie Green is safe. David Griffin lost his job today. Griff's my homie. Going back to the NBA TV days, he is literally one of my favorite guys on earth. I love David Griffin. His intelligence, the guy's a genius. I'll just say it. The guy's a genius. You spend time with him, you listen to him talk, you kind of observe how he thinks and how the wheels move in his brain. And I've been around a lot of special people, ball players, David Stern, Adam Silver, bosses, CEOs, whales, billionaires. I've been around, blessed to have been around a lot of badasses in my day. And he's right up there at the top, man. Absolutely brilliant. And Griff won't be out of a job long. I love me some David Griffin. And I'm sorry that he lost the job today. Condolences out to my buddy and a guy that I super respect. Now, Coach Bud lost his job today. Shams Charania reported some time ago, within the last hour, that the Phoenix Suns have fired head coach Mike Budenholzer after finishing 11th with a 36 and 46 record in one season. So we all knew this was coming. This is no surprise at all. I thought it might have happened towards the end of the regular season, but they waited, unlike Denver and Memphis. We just all saw this coming like a freight train coming down the tracks, like, the steam engine and the whole thing. A lot of coaching firings, they don't make sense, they're unfair, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's a disaster in Phoenix. What can I say? You had Frank Vogel think about it. You went from Monty Williams, who went back-to-back Coaches Association Coach of the Year and won one legit Coach of the Year award. I shouldn't say legit because they're both legit, but like the official one, I should say. And then, so I don't know what's going on with Monty Williams. Seems like he's kind of ticking a lot of people off right now, but he did a great job with the Booker, Paul, Bridges, Cam Johnson, like that group, right? Ayton, going to the finals and stuff. And then you go to Frank Vogel for 1 year. Bye, gone. And then you go to Bud for 1 year. Okay, so now you're back out there searching for another coach. Is your next guy going to be a churn and burn, one and done or two? You're like the Cleveland damn Browns around here with a different coach every freaking year. I know Stefanski's kind of held that thing down the last few years. But churning and burning your coach is not the way to go. That's what Phoenix is doing. Phoenix is one of the most unhealthy teams in the NBA. They are. They're the only team in the league that's not in the lottery, not in the play-in tournament, and not in the playoffs. So that's purgatory. All right. There's nothing good going on. There's nothing to look forward to. They have no money to spend. You don't have a draft pick. You have to trade Kevin Durant and get as much in return as you can for him. That's what's next for Phoenix. Bradley Beal is stuck. They could buy him out, I guess. I don't know, man. Bradley Beal, if memory serves, and I don't have my NBA depth chart up here. Andre Lamouche is our awesome producer. Andre, help me out with this. I want to say that Bradley Beal has 2 years left on his deal at like 50 per year. And I believe that second year is a player option year. Okay. Bradley Beal is going to pick up that option. Players, a lot of times, most of the time, decline their option for the sake of making more money and all this kind of stuff. There won't be more money out there for Bradley Beal. Okay. He is firm. Whatever years and money, that's firm. He will pick up that option. So do you really want to say goodbye to Bradley Beal and pay him $100 million to do so? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. When healthy, he's still a productive player. As annoyingly high maintenance as he is. Not a huge fan, as I've repeated many. I think he's soft. Okay. He doesn't look soft. Looks like he could play football out there, but the dude is soft. Okay. How do I know? Look at the games played. Look at the DNPs. You can sniff out softivity. It's not that hard. John Morant, soft. D'Angelo Russell, soft. Brandon Ingram, soft. These guys are soft. The guys that don't fight to play games and are okay missing game after game after game after game after game after game, they're soft. Okay. They're not injured. They're injured and, well, they could be injured, but they're also soft because there's some stuff that you should hurry back from, some stuff you should play through, and they don't do it. And they're not my guys at all. So I don't know what they're going to do with Bradley Beal, but this team is in a world of hurt. I mean, play ball. You dummies. Play ball. He is not the solution. He is not going to get the Phoenix Suns back near the top of the West. No. What do you have to lose? You suck. You're 36-46. Why wouldn't you play ball? That is one of the great mysteries of my lifetime. I mean, you know, I don't. We've got other mysteries, right? Do you believe in ghosts? Do you believe in aliens? You know, stuff like that, right? I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, dude, Coach Bud got fired. Whew. When's Coach Bud getting another job? The recycled coach. Well, he's kind of becoming that. I mean, the resume is fat. Coach of the year, is championship as a coach, championships as an assistant coach. But, fantasy implications, there will be changes. Okay. There will be personnel changes once they trade Kevin Durant. And they need to do that sooner rather than later so that they can maybe get a draft pick or two and start to, fill the coffers that way a little bit. Or, I don't know, maybe a trade comes down on draft night. I don't damn know. Coach Bud lost his job, man. And that's not what's up. I like Coach Bud. Nice guy. I think he's a terrific coach. But this was a situation where you got hired to get fired. That's all there is to it. You got hired to get fired. So Coach Bud didn't play ball enough. That was a big mistake. Another big mistake he made, in my opinion, was getting away from Tyus Jones as a starting point guard. They made a promise to Tyus Jones. And he signed a 1-year minimum deal with Phoenix. Could have gotten more money elsewhere, but they promised him a role. And he wanted to sort of be a starter on a good team and then rehab his value and go out and make more money this year in the offseason. He's definitely leaving Phoenix now, and he'll be a free agent this summer, and he did not reclaim his value, okay? And so I feel bad for Tyus Jones. That's a swing and a miss. He did not play. Look, he got lied to. He got bamboozled. The Suns lied to him to get him under contract on a minimum deal. They lied. They promised him playing time. They promised him a role. And then Coach Bud went, whoop, pulled the rug right out from under him. And he went, boom, and slipped on the floor. And now he's got a tailbone injury about it. Not cool. Not cool, man. Not cool. So, like I said, the layout for the show is surprises and letdowns in fantasy ball this year. And then we will get into some Dynasty Sell High and Buy Low. Surprises. Dyson Daniels, the biggest surprise this year. I think it's by far. I mean, I looked at Dyson Daniels as a stud, like physically, 6'8", rocked up body, kind of like a slightly a smaller version of Ben Simmons out there, right? And I did see a good defender, but I didn't see offense and playmaking and all that kind of stuff. The guy barely played with New Orleans. And I mean, to bang on Willie Green or what, like they were kind of deep. I mean, you got Murphy, you got LeBron, you got Ingram, you got Jordan Hawkins. I'm like forgetting guys. They had Najee Marshall at the time, so it's not like. I mean, they had guys. You had Jose Alvarado backing up the point guard and CJ McCollum and stuff. So you had a lot of guys. I'm not like, oh, New Orleans, you're so stupid for never playing Dyson Daniels. I don't know, kind of a numbers game. And he did play a little bit. I mean, he's like a 20-minute bench player for them. But what we saw in Atlanta this year, crazy. 3 steals per game. The solid overall numbers here for Dyson Daniels. And Kurt Heelan of NBCSports.com, I had him on the Sports Ethos NBA show with Rick Kamla earlier today. He said that Dyson Daniels is his most improved player. Okay? I mean, he's in the running for me. Cade Cunningham is my most improved player. But this year for Dyson Daniels, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 0.7 blocks, 1.1 threes. Dr. A thinks that's going to be a second-round pick next year. He said he's taking him in the second round. You're going to take a PRA of 14, 6, and 4 in the second round with 1.1 threes. Okay, knock yourself out. I want to be in a league with people that take Dyson Daniels in round 2. I love Dyson Daniels. He has second-round value this year, according to basketballmonster.com. They have him 14th, okay? That includes the 49% from the field. Terrible free throw shooting at 59, yet he's still that high. The steals, they love the defensive categories in their algorithm, and the steals carry a lot of weight. That's why he has risen all the way up to 14. I'm not taking a PRA of 14, 6, and 4 when I got guys out there with a PRA of like 28, 8, and 6. At the same time, you're taking Dyson Daniels. And yes, I'm dropping the steal category there a little bit for that player-for-player transaction. Clearly, I've always got my eyes on block steals and threes throughout any draft, throughout any season, throughout any waiver wire search. But Dyson Daniels' round 2 value to me is nutty. I think it's that's setting yourself up to be pissed off that you spent a second-round pick on Dyson Daniels. Number 1 surprise in fantasy basketball this year, Amen Thompson. I thought Amen Thompson, and I love him, you all know that, well documented. I thought Amen Thompson and Tari Eason were going to, come off the bench behind Van Vliet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith, and Alpi Şengün. Now, Jabari Smith lost his starting job. Amen went into the starting lineup. So, look, I kind of thought that they would play it straight. They didn't. Things have changed here. But Amen Thompson, boosh. He is out there, and he's a dude now. And he is an absolute fantasy stud. I know Andre is excited to take over Dr. A's team in the Cam Dynasty. That team has Amen Thompson on it, and I know he's really geeked to buy into some Amen Thompson. I would be as well. Doc just texted me, so we should be getting him here shortly. But in the meantime, so Amen Thompson, big surprise this year. Like I wasn't high on him pre-draft. In draft fantasy draft season, I wasn't high on him. I thought he was going to be a bench player. Do some similar stuff to last year, maybe with a little uptick just because you're in year 2. But all the playing time, all the starts, all the point guard work that he got. Remember, Van Vliet has missed a bunch of games this year. It's been surprising to me. Just sort of the circumstances of Amen, how that all worked out. Christian Braun, is a guy more like Dyson Daniels. Like, like I didn't know you had this in you. Andre says, Amen, about to dominate the Cam Dynasty. I love the confidence, man. Bring it on. Bring it on, baby. I'm not saying, I'm just saying bring it on. I'm just saying bring it on. We take on all comers over here. I'm psyched to have Andre in the Cam Dynasty. I am. It sucks to lose Doc, and that's a whole nother thing. But Andre, you the man. Glad to have you on board here. So Christian Brown, dude. So I banged on Calvin Booth about how could you let KCP go to Orlando at $22 million a year? You go into the second apron. You got to keep him. You got to, keep that championship foundation together. And I don't regret anything I said. I don't think I said anything incorrectly. But a part of that opinion was, you're going from KCP to Christian Brown as your starting two guard. Like Christian Brown isn't even close to KCP. Christian Brown freaking killed it this year, folks. Killed it. Okay. Won me over. So let me look at his value here. I know it's very high. Where is Christian Brown? Maybe it's not as high as I thought. Here it is. He's 57th in BM rankings. 15, 5, and 2, 1.1 steals, 1.1 threes, a half a block. Oh my God, he shot 58% from the field. Are you kidding me? Christian Brown shot 58% from the field? What the F, man? That is a stat that has escaped me. I'm not a big percentages guy. I don't manage at all to the percentages unless I'm late in like a semifinal or championship matchup and like it's the most important category that it's the week has developed that way. Then I will look into percentages, but only then. I do not make any draft decisions or usually any waiver wire decisions based on the ratios. It's all about counting numbers for me. Andre said here on Bradley Beal, he is at, let me see this here, Andre, on Beal. It was 53 and 57 with the player option at $57 million. Come on. Bradley Beal is not declined. Bradley Beal would have to have his head examined by a neurologist if he declined a $57 million option. He will be 33 years old. I've said for years he's got the worst contract in the NBA, especially because he has a no trade clause, and you can't just trade him. He has to agree to the trade, or he won't, give up. I don't know how to phrase that, but they got to go to him. He's basically got the right of first refusal with that no trade clause, and his agent should go to the Hall of Fame for orchestrating that for an injury-prone, frankly, kind of overrated and totally soft player, and he got a no trade clause. I mean, Andre, correct me if I'm wrong. I saw that. They're speaking about maybe a buyout for Beal, but again, I'm not paying you. So what is that? It's $57 million, 57 plus 50. It's $110 million to walk. And I can tell you one thing right now. Bradley Beal is not going to leave a dollar on the table in that buyout. The Suns will have to pay all of that money to Bradley Beal. Because Beal doesn't have to agree to it, but with a buyout, you usually negotiate it. A player wants out to go to another team, so he'll leave $1 million or $2 million on the table back to the team. So the team then says, "Okay, we'll let you out." This one, no, Beal, there will be no conversation here. It will just be, Brad, we're paying you your money. Goodbye. We don't want you back in our facility anymore, and we're going to boo you when you come back here with your new team. But $110 million over 2 years, I'm not buying him out. I'm taking him into next year. I'm not going to be able to trade him. And then maybe in the expiring year of his contract, I will be able to trade him, of course, with his approval. That's how I would do it. But the Suns won't do it that way because they're dumb. They're real dumb. Matt Ishbia, brilliant in business. As we speak, so far, really dumb at basketball. Dude, you can't cheat this. You can't. It's a long haul deal. And, he wants to come in and make a splash, and I get it. The buying championships thing, but you got to make the right moves, man. And Bradley Beal was the wrong move, brother. But Christian Brown, major surprise for me. Jordan Poole. I called this on NBA radio with Antonio Daniels before they let me go. And I'm proud to be here at Sports Ethos. I called this on NBA radio. I said that the Washington Wizards are going to put Jordan Poole on the ball. They're going to make him their point guard. Why wouldn't they? He came off the bench last year, backing up the 1 and 2, and it was a disaster. And you've got Poole. He's a talented player. He's under contract plus $30 million. Use him. If he sucks, he sucks. What do you have to lose? You're tanking for Cooper Flagg. And I think that was a win for Washington. I know it was a win for Jordan Poole because he had a terrific year. And he finished the year. Thank you, Washington. I want Washington to get Cooper Flagg. I do. I'm saying that right now. I don't want Utah to get Cooper Flagg. They were tanky as hell. And use it. Well, Washington was super tanky. Were they? Were they? They played Chris Middleton, Marcus Smart, and Rashawn Holmes deep into the season. Jordan Poole finished the season. That's not tanky shutdown stuff. That is smart. That is understanding we freaking suck with or without Jordan Poole. We're getting our heads beaten every night with or without Jordan Poole. And if we are a bottom 3 team, which means we're top 3 in the lottery, okay, we all get a 14% chance. It's not like if you're the worst, you get 17% and then it grades down. No, the bottom 3 teams all have a 14% chance at Cooper Flagg, okay? So we just got to be bottom 3. We don't have to be perfect at tanking. We just have to be really good at tanking. But anyway, that was a surprise that Jordan Poole finished the year. And I wasn't really surprised about the rest. They had to play him at point guard. They did. I knew that Poole would have a productive year if that happened, but the fact he finished the year was surprising to me. And then Khalil Ware of the Miami Heat. Okay, like frankly, I didn't know a lot. I saw his stats coming out of Indiana, and I was like, those are some pretty good stats right there. Also, a first-round pick to the Miami Heat. Do the Miami Heat screw up their draft picks? Or do they usually hit on their draft picks? They usually hit on their draft picks, folks. Pat Riley and his guys know what they're doing. And Coach Bo as well. Coach O, Eric Glass, those are my homies, man. I got a lot of buddies with the Miami Heat. So, yeah, I mean, I think they hit another one here. You know, I thought they hit one with Jaime Jaquez, and then that thing got weird. Maybe I should text my guy, Jason Jackson. Like the play-by-play guys, like I've got a lot of connections, right? And I try to get insider information. Play-by-play guys and girls are really reluctant, I have found, to share proprietary information, even with their buddies, right? Because they're afraid that it'll go out, in a tweet, like not attributed to that person, but like if I give Cam some intel, he may go to Twitter with that, and even if it's not with my name on it, like maybe I don't want this out there about my team. Anyway, they get really guarded, and rightly so. Okay, those are cherry jobs, and you don't want to do anything to screw it up. So I get it. So I won't be texting Jax about that, but Jax is my guy. Love me some Jason Jackson, the radio play-by-play guy for the Miami Heat, one of my buddies. I love him. Anyway, Khalil Ware, a hit. A surprise. I didn't see him going around a double-double with the blocks and the threes. And I mean, I thought Bam was going to be the center and Khalil Ware would kind of get in where he fits in. I thought Kevin Love might be a little bit bigger part of the Miami plan this year. So Khalil Ware's been a really, really good fantasy surprise for you all. Letdowns. Okay. There are many on this list. Klay Thompson. Like, I mean, we're just going the wrong way here with Klay Thompson. We are going the wrong way. I don't know, man. I'm a big Klay Thompson fan. And I think, like, I just have too optimistic of an opinion on him because of that. And I admit that. We have flaws. We have weaknesses. And again, I'm not a fanboy guy. I'm an analyst. I'm hardcore competitive. I'm trying to win chips. I mean, I'll mess with players that I don't even like if the stats work out for me in that moment, to help me win a championship. I'll mess with a D-Lo in the final week of the season if he's playing and the stats are okay. Even guys that I don't really like. I don't know what to say. I'm a sellout that way. Maybe it's all for the sake of winning, man. It's all for the sake of winning. But I will never, ever, ever do business with John Morant, Zion Williamson again. I can tell you that right now. Klay Thompson this year, guys. I thought that, last year with Golden State, he was at 18 points and shot 39% on three. I thought he'd be right around there, right? No, 14 points per game and shot 39% from three. And obviously, we know Clay's line for years has been pretty vacant outside of the points and the threes, right? I mean, you even look back in the Golden State heyday, about 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, right? Like, okay, you're not helping me anywhere there. No blocks and a bunch of threes and points in the 20s. And he's Clay. He's got a dope game. He's got the strut. He's got the headband. He's got the boat. I don't know. I'm just a Klay Thompson guy. What Rocco's his dog. I'm into it, man. He's a weird dude, and I like weird dudes. I'm a weird dude. But 14 points per game and 3 threes per game, that ain't gonna cut it, bro. You are only off the waiver wire because you're Klay Thompson. That's waiver wire stuff right there. His line this year: 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.1 stocks. You got to put them both together to get to 1, and then 3 threes per game. Shot 41% from the field. It's waiver wire stuff, guys. Waiver wire stuff. I thought he'd be a little bit better. Talking about letdowns for the fantasy season, that was just culminated yesterday. It is the Fantasy NBA Today. Rick Kamla and Dr. A. He has texted me, and presumably he will be joining us soon, or not. I don't know. Doc is a mercurial guy. Doc will join us tomorrow. Okay. So it's your boy Cam solo style. Let me take a quick drink here. Nick Claxton, letdown. Nicky Claxton of the Brooklyn Nets. It wasn't the games played because he played deep into the season. But the minutes were down from 30 to 27 this year under Jordi Fernandez. That created a drop from 12 points a game down to 10. Created a drop from 10 rebounds down to 7.5. Created a drop from 2.1 blocks to 1.4 blocks. Okay. We're going the wrong way with all this. And Claxton just got paid. So could be a couple of things going on here. You either have a guy got paid and kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit, or it could just be the 3 minutes per game. But the 3 minutes per game doesn't really speak to a 2.5 rebound per game drop or a 2 point per game drop. 3 minutes per game off, your stats should be dropping less than they did. So I think it's a little bit of a combo platter there. Hopefully Nick Claxton. And frankly, you're on a team that sucks and a team with like nothing to get excited about, no direction at all. So maybe he was in a malaise a little bit as well. But he was a letdown for me. Pardon me, I'm having some indigestion here. Dante DiVincenzo. Chris Finch loves Mike Conley. Tim Connolly loves Mike Conley. That's why he's there. By the way, here's a buzzkill for you. You managers of Dante DiVincenzo in Dynasty Leagues. And I don't take satisfaction in bringing you this buzzkill, but it is a buzzkill, and I'm paid to do this, so I do it. Mike Conley is under contract with the Minnesota Timberwolves next year. Is it going to change? I don't know. It could depend on, playoff success or not. I think the Lakers are going to beat the Wolves in the first round. So maybe starting Mike Conley, you get beat, and you say, well, we got to go with Dante as our starter. I don't know. I don't know what they have planned for that. But I know that even if Dante starts over Mike Conley, he's going to have Mike Conley over his shoulder. So if he's got nights where he's not making shots or he's maybe turning the ball over a little bit, Conley's going to be out there. Dante's not a true point guard. He can play point guard, but he's not a true point guard. He's a 2 guard in a point guard body, but he can play a little point, right? And I mean, statistically, he's way better at the point than coming off the bench, and it's kind of a grab bag then with Nas Reed and NAW. So Dante's been a letdown this year, and he missed a big chunk with injuries. Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets, no fault of his own, got hurt, got shut down. You're on the tanky Brooklyn Nets. Actually, I shouldn't have him on the letdown list. I shouldn't. I did not have. I had one share of Cam Thomas this year. It was on a keeper team that I have, Sam Hinkie's letter, and we keep 10 or 12. I think it's 10. But that's it. I mean, I got to keep Cam Thomas. I knew going into this year I was going to hate what I got. I knew they were going to rest him and shut him down and all this tanky bull crap, right? And I actually got less than I even thought I was going to get. Going forward, I love Cam Thomas. But this year he was maybe a letdown to you guys. The year kind of played out like I thought it would. Herb Jones and DeJounte Murray. What a buzzkill. Not their fault. They both got hurt. They both got significantly hurt. And, a big reason why David Griffin lost his job was trading for DeJounte Murray. He gets hurt. Dyson Daniels goes off in Atlanta, and here you are. But to me, that's revisionist history and a bunch of bull crap by the Benson family. They should not have blown out David Griffin. And they have Zion, who I'm not into. So I'll be cheering against the Pelicans. And it will bring me great satisfaction to watch them lose games going forward. I got you, Griff. I got you. We stand. Emmanuel Quickly. Last letdown here. Emmanuel Quick. Here's a quick guess. A little trivia question for you. How many games did Emmanuel Quickly play this year? Are you ready with your answer? Emmanuel Quickly played 33 games. Whoa. Oh my God. 33 games. 33 games. Dude, I think I might need to start looking into Emmanuel Quickly, maybe being a soft or softish player. I mean, dude, 33 games. There's something wrong with 33 games, bro. Like, he didn't tear an ACL. I don't even remember what his injury was. I think it was an ankle or something like that. I don't remember. 33 games, bro? Really? And Toronto did not shut their guys down. Maybe until like the final weekend. But they were doing the every other game, rest thing. Okay, fine. You're not shutting them down. You're playing them every other game. I think the basketball world can work with that on a crappy team like Toronto. And Emmanuel Quickly still played 33 games. Brutal. Major letdown. And I wasn't high on him coming in because I feared tanky, shutdown, blah, blah, blah. I did have him in one league. And yes, I did overcome that bad draft pick to win that league. Let's talk Dynasty. Let's talk Dynasty basketball, folks. It is Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today. And I have an article out that I really want you guys to read. It's on sportsethos.com. It is a Dynasty Buy-Low and Sell-High article. I do it for you, okay? There's like 15, 16, 17 names in there, about half on the Buy-Low side, about half on the Sell-High side. So some of my Buy-Low targets here, guys. Reed Shepard is a Buy-Low target for me. Guys, I believe that Reed Shepard, his value right now is the lowest it's going to be in his NBA career. I think Reed Shepard's going to have a fabulous career. Barely played this year, but when he did, we saw it. Okay, you saw it at Summer League. You saw it in the preseason. If you went back and watched tape of Kentucky, he is an athlete. He is a plus athlete. He has defensive instincts. He has defensive nastiness. Great getting into passing lanes. And, his whole thing is the passing lane steal and the run-out dunk. Okay, that's a Reed Shepard deal. There are reports that Fred VanVleet wants to go back to Houston. Of course he does. And Houston wants to bring him back. What if Fred VanVleet stinks up the joint in the first round and the Rockets lose to, Golden State or Memphis? Do you really think that Houston's going to be that geeked to bring him back? If he shoots 25% and he's kind of sort of the reason why the Rockets lost the first round playoff series? If they bring FVV back, it's going to be bad news for Reed Shepard. It is. They might not bring him back, though. Okay, so this one is sort of a monitor the situation. Or if you're feeling, you can't really make trades right now. Like the Cam Dynasty is it's shut off. The new season, I haven't renewed the new season yet. So in most Dynasty leagues, you can't make trades yet. But maybe some of them you can. Because the fantasy season is over. Your boy's been busy. Sorry. Well, what can I tell you? But Reed Shepard here, at least a situation to monitor. Matas Buzelis of the Chicago Bulls. Look, he had some big games, okay? But he finished the year with a PRA of 13-5-2, 1.1 blocks, 1.8 threes. That was in the second half, all right? If you look at the full season numbers, they don't look that great. So maybe his managers, I don't know, maybe it was a bad team and they didn't really monitor their team. Maybe all of that is a little bit escaping them. I mean, if you're a dynasty manager, you got to stay on this, or we're going to boot you out of the league. But why not? Try to go get Matas Buzelis. He, gave me Chet Holmgren vibes. I love him. I think he's got a huge future. And he didn't statistically pop so much that he'll be impossible to get. I think he'll be hard to get, but not impossible. So load up. Couple of solids, couple of draft picks. See if you can get yourself into some Matas. Zach Edey of the Memphis Grizzlies. Buy low, baby. Taylor Jenkins, the usage was weird. Coach Izalo is playing him, starting him. Izalo's first game as coach was a game against the Lakers. Edey came off the bench for the previous 3 games. Then all of a sudden started that game. And he's been in the starting lineup ever since. He is an Izalo guy, okay? The overall numbers for the season don't look great. But next year he's going to be a double-double with a couple of blocks per game. And a big-time sleeper. Get in on Zach Edey now. Again, his value is about as low right now as it's going to be. Herb Jones. Make a buy low for Herb Jones in a dynasty league. Still a young guy, one of the best goodie combos in the game. Averaging over the last 2 seasons, 1.4 threes, 1.6 steals, and 0.7 blocks. Okay. He had a lot of injuries this year, played only 20 games. But, I mean, he had a significant injury, got shut down for the year. Keegan Murray, I'm going to be trying to get him from Paul Charchian and Randy Shaver, don't tell him, this offseason. Because I feel like it's a good time to get in on Keegan Murray. And I may have to deal with another year of DeRozan and Levine, maybe 2 more years of that. And that's going to put a serious cap on the upside of Keegan Murray. But Keegan Murray is a young guy. He's 24 years old right now. I believe, and as soon as either DeRozan leaves or Levine leaves, bam, you're going to get the pop and the spike for Keegan Murray. And he's going to be up around 20 points a game. He's going to be flirting with 20 and 10s. He's going to hit a million threes. He's going to be up around a block and a steal per game. I love his stat set. I love his wetter. I love how available he is. And he's just a rock solid player, man, who's been capped. And so that's a perfect buy low because he hasn't had the pop yet. Well, get him now and then wait for the pop to happen because it's coming. Kind of like Trey Murphy, like you were holding him this year, pop, right? Up to 21 points per game. Trey Murphy, by the way, is one of my buy low guys because he's coming off of a torn labrum. It is, and I'm not minimizing that at all. It's a 6 to 9 month deal from what I haven't had the injury. I don't think. I got kind of a funky left shoulder. I certainly hope I don't have a torn labrum. But I don't know. It's not bad enough where I got to go see a doc about it. But I have had a torn ACL and all that kind of stuff. But a torn labrum I have not had. I have seen Rudy Gay, I have seen Dwayne Wade, and I've seen many other guys completely and fully recover from a torn labrum. It's a big deal, but you fix it and you move on. It's different than an Achilles or an ACL. I feel like those are more boom, like you really took a hit with that. So I'm okay. I feel like Trey Murphy, and here's the other buy low with him. He's probably not going to play based on timeline. He had surgery in late March. I'm estimating that he will be back around Christmas. I'm estimating that he may miss the first 2 months of the regular season. Capitalize on that. Because last year he went 21-5-3, 1.8 stocks, 3 threes per game. That's an awesome stat line. Going to be hard to get. But he's got a torn labrum. He's going to miss the first 2 months of the season. And that's what creates the buy low for Trey Murphy. See if you can go out there and get him. It is Rick Kamla. We are the Fantasy NBA today. And we have a series. Pardon me 1 second. We have a series of Dynasty Sell-High Buy-Low pieces on sportsethos.com. Next week, Doc's turn will be up, followed by our Dynasty lead, Mark Camaro. If you're playing Dynasty, we want y'all to check it out on sportsethos.com. We got you. So let's get back into my, the sell-high list. This should be fun. This should create some bangage on some overrated players, man. Ja Morant. You are getting so hooked up with Ja Morant. in a dynasty league right now. Here's what I mean by that. He's playing. He's finishing the year, we think. Has a chance to beat Golden State in a play-in tournament game. I would love to see that, by the way. I'm not a Ja Morant guy, but I'm not into the Warrior thing. I think it's faux. I do. I think it's fugazi. I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying it. I feel like Jimmy Butler was a Band-Aid put on a dying dynasty. In a very good Band-Aid. But this is the playoffs now. You're not playing Toronto and Utah. You're not playing those teams anymore, bro. Ja Morant. His return, see, he got Taylor Jenkins whacked, all right? And ever since, he's been balling out. Look at the numbers. They're sensational. Trade that. Use that to get out of Ja Morant because he is on the never draft again list. Sorry, I had a ton of shares of Ja Morant this year. I'm not doing. He is one of the highest maintenance players I've ever seen in my life in any sport. And I've covered these games for 30 plus years. Right there at the top. Might be on the Mount Rushmore of high maintenance, okay? Get out of Ja Morant. Get out. He doesn't care about the game enough to play hurt. That bothers the hell out of me. Get out. Now's your opportunity. He's playing. He may even go into a playoff series and do some bigger things and really, really billow up his value. Get out of Ja Morant. But I mean, Cam, he could come back next year and be healthy. Yeah, right. If you're waiting on that, that's like waiting on, the U.S. government they might just send me $10,000 cash in the mail. Bro, you can wait the rest of your life. That cash ain't coming, man. And you can think every year's going to be different than the previous years with Ja Morant. You're just wrong. They're not going to be. I'm not sure Ja Morant will ever play 65 games. Legit. Going forward. I don't know if he'll ever play 65 games. I really don't. How many games did Ja play this year? Let me look it up. I know at one point he was at a 29 DNP thing, and I know it's less than 65. Where's Ja with the games played this year? Oh, Ja and his attendance. 50 games. Oh, my God. Get out! Get out! There are ghosts in your home. You need to leave that home or hire a shaman and have them come in and clear out all the ghosts. You got to figure something out here, okay? Get out on Ja Morant. Guys, 50 games played this year. 50. That's 32 DNPs. Way to go, buddy. Way to go. Way to steal money all year. Played 9 games last year because of injuries and gun bullshit. And the year before, he played 61 games. The year before, he played 57 games. The year before, he played 63 games. And as a rookie, he played 67 games. Way, hey! He has played 6 years in the NBA, 1 year over 65 games. Andre, your boy was right again, okay? I would bet against a 65-game season from Ja Morant for the rest of his career. Get out. Get out. Who is the comedian talking about ghosts and he's like, get out. I forget that. Maybe was that Eddie Murphy? Maybe Chris Rock. I can't remember. It's funny as hell. All right. Zion Williamson. Eject. Bye. Just like Ja Morant out of Zion vibe coming into the year, I will never forgive myself for my Zion Williamson optimism coming in, and it will never happen again. Zion Williamson could play 82 games next year and score 50 points a game. I'm never going back. Because then I'm fading off of the act of God career year. So I'm so out on Zion Williamson. He is on the never draft again list, okay? But he still has a big name. The stats are still healthy. And I don't know. Maybe you got a Dookie in your league and there's some allegiance there. Good luck. You're not going to get maybe as much as you would for Zion a year ago or 2 years ago. But my point is, get out now before all the value dries up. I don't know what you go and offer Zion Williamson for. I don't know. Let me look at my buy low list here, and I'll tell you if I would do a 1-for-1. I would rather have Trey Murphy than Zion Williamson. I would rather have Keegan Murray than Zion Williamson. Offer Zion Williamson for Keegan Murray. See if you can get it. I would rather have Zach Edey and Matas Buzelis than Zion Williamson. Hell, I'd rather have Reed Shepard than Zion, but the question marks about FEV and stuff like that, I would, like, I'm not saying, like, if I offered 10 trades for Zion Williamson, okay, and 9 of them struck out, and then Shepard was that last pick, yeah, I would rather have the rest of Reed Shepard's career than the rest of Zion Williamson's career. But he would be lower down on the priority chart. I would try to steal some of these other guys for Zion. Just go get his teammate, Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's a baller. Love Trey Murphy. Bye, Zion. Bye. Never have to deal with you on any of my teams again. LaMelo Ball. I mean, this is like the all-star team for softivity in the NBA. Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, LaMelo Ball, and we talked about Bradley Beal earlier. Gosh dang it. Brandon Ingram's got to be in there somewhere. I mean, the softest player in the league is Brandon Ingram. There are no one softer in this league than Brandon Ingram. D'Angelo Russell's a tough guy compared to Brandon Ingram, okay? LaMelo Ball, I put him on the never draft again list a couple of years ago. I love LaMelo coming out. Loved him. Comparisons to Magic Johnson with the slick, the behind the back passes, all the like wizardry, right? And I believe that comparison in the passing department for Magic and LaMelo Ball. He's one of the best passers I've ever seen in my life. LaMelo Ball, one of the best I've ever seen. PRA this year of 25, 5, and 7, 1.1 steals, 3.8 threes. What a stat line, right? Trade that. He actually played 47 games, which has been an improvement, believe it or not. Trade him. Get out of LaMelo Ball. Now, Andre Lamouche is taking over Dr. A's team. Dr. A has LaMelo Ball. One of the reasons why Dr. A hates his team is giving it up is LaMelo Ball, who's never available for him, okay? So, Andre, I will be curious to see what you do with LaMelo Ball, who has played 105 games over the last 3 years. Andre, don't come a-calling over here. Don't hit me up on Slack with a LaMelo Ball trade offer. Just don't do it. Don't waste your time, brother. The answer will be no. I will not be getting into LaMelo Ball. I mean, I may like a Dembona for LaMelo Ball. Okay, I'll do that. But I'm not giving you anything of significance for LaMelo Ball. So I'll be curious to see what Andre, and Andre's a fantasy beast, absolute genius. What are you saying? I'll probably have to hold for the 76 game seasons incoming and trade him after my first championship. You're funny. I love the confidence. We can't lower the amount of games. We can't lower the amount of games. Stop it with that. I don't want less basketball. I don't want to feed this load management culture, this soft culture of the NBA. Dropping the amount of games is soft. It's also bad business. It means less money. I hate that idea. Oh, you meant him playing 76 games. Whoa. He said 76 out of 82 for LaMelo next season. Boy, you are geeked about your team in the Cam Dynasty. And I love it, but I totally disagree. All right, Quentin Grimes is on my sell-high list. Guys, it's all fool's gold. The 44-point game against Golden State, the 46-point game against Houston, the PRA of 23, 5, and 5 with 3.2 threes and 1.6 steals, gargantuan stat line in the second half of the year in 23 games. It's all fool's gold. It's all fool's gold. You're going to have Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, at some point Joel Embiid. Jared McCain is going to join the party at some point next year. I'm not saying Grimes will suck. I'm not saying, look, if he is a starter, he will be like the 5th option. And if Embiid's out, maybe the 4th option. My point is this. Capitalize on Grimes' success. Like, move him for a Trey Murphy. Just go to the other guys I was talking about. A Trey Murphy, a Keegan Murray, a Herb Jones, a Zach Edey, a Matas Buzelis, a Reed Shepard. All of those guys would be hits if you could unload Quentin Grimes and get into those guys. I like Quentin Grimes. Quentin Grimes is a role player in the NBA. Don't get it twisted. He is a role player who, during silly season on an incredibly tanky team, somebody had to score the rock, and it was him. okay? Don't get it twisted. This is not who he is. Guys, we just saw Pat Connaughton fire off a 43-point game. We just saw Jaime Jaquez fire off a 41-point game. Is that who those guys are? Hell no. It's silly season. These numbers are fun. They're pinball-y, and they're not real. It's fool's gold, okay? I mean, it was real if you had Pat Con in your lineup on Sunday in some way, shape, or form, okay? But you get the point. This Quentin Grimes second half, not real. Get out of Quentin Grimes, because wait until he's coming off that Philly bench next year. He's playing 15 minutes, and you got to send him to waivers. Like, dang it, I missed my opportunity to sell high with Quentin Grimes. You're damn right you did. Get on it now. I got to throw Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively into this into this conversation right here. I love them both. Hate them together. I don't hate them. It's a strong word. I hate the word hate. Anyway, I dislike them both together. Why? Because it's cannibalistic. They're in each other's way. It's a timeshare. I would like Lively to be the Maverick center and Gafford to be, I'm trying to think of a centerless team right now, and it's escaping me. I don't know, maybe New Orleans, okay? Like Yves Missi, right? Like Gafford be a huge upgrade over Yves Missi. You see what I'm saying? Like split them up. I love them both. When they're together, you can have them. So I would look to trade Daniel Gafford, especially, and because his numbers are coming down. Like, presumably, if he and Lively are healthy next year, and Gafford is under contract one more year, then Gafford's going to probably come off the bench behind Lively, play 18 to 20 minutes, have periodic big games, and the numbers will be okay, but you're going to want to get out on him. And I think people are going to look at his numbers this year and think, ooh, Daniel Gafford, sell high with him. Lively is a little different, younger guy. Maybe you just wait out the one more year with Daniel Gafford, and then, if you're a Lively manager, then you would hope that he would leave at that point, and then Lively could just be that center for Dallas. But I don't know, a lot of questions. Dallas might bring him back. I like Lively. I would want to bring back Lively if I were Dallas. And I mean, because in reality, having Gafford and Lively is awesome. You have two badass centers. They're not playing big minutes. They're always going to be fresh. One guy gets hurt. You got the other guy to expand a little bit. Like, it's a good arrangement in reality. I like it. Brandon Ingram. Can y'all help me out with something? Did he retire? Is Brandon Ingram still in NBA? Did I miss the retirement press conference? It wouldn't be teary. It would be like, yeah, I don't really love this game anyway, so I'm going to take my money and run. Because that's what Brandon Ingram does. Put the money in the bag, like with a ski mask on. It's ridiculous. Who steals more money in the NBA than Brandon Ingram? I mean, he's overrated when he plays. I mean, the PRA this year, 22, 5, and 5. Okay, solid as a rock. 2.4 threes, 1.5 stocks per game. It's a decent stat line. But the hype about him, the reputation of him, I feel like supersedes that. I feel like the hype and the reputation, because I talk to people about Ingram, they like Brandon Ingram. I'm like, how could you like Brandon Ingram? Like, how? I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, as a player, like, what has he done to, like, reel you in? Has he hit game-winning shots? Has he put a team on his back and led them to anything? To me, he's just been a talented player out there kind of balling. And, I don't know, just kind of making money and being an NBA player. And anytime anything is wrong, if it's a week, it's a month. If it's a day, it's a week. If it's a month, it's a year. It's like, dude, guy never plays. Guy never plays. I think he retired until proven otherwise. So sell high while people still know he's in the NBA. Now, obviously, this is a weird one right here. Is this a sell high on Brandon Ingram? I mean, again, the numbers look pretty good. You can sell that. The games played number this year is awful. All right, but you might catch that one Brandon Ingram guy or girl that are still hanging in there with him. Again, guys, trading in fantasy sports is like going fishing. You are not going to catch something every day. There are going to be, my process is, I'll go through the league and all the rosters, and I'll write down, 5, 6, 7 guys that I want to target, right? And then I prioritize them. I send the first trade off route. Okay, I got to know I don't really want to haggle with that. This owner's kind of annoying and kind of hard to deal with historically. So, all right, I shot my shot. It didn't work. And then move on to number 2. Send that one out. And I just go down the line. It's the off season. All we've got is time. Or you can just send out 6 trades at one time. Sometimes I do that as well. If I'm okay with all of the returns on what I'm sending out. But sometimes I have to prioritize it. But usually I just sort of blanket like 6 trades out. And I just see what I get. And it's going fishing. And, like the last 2 years, I made a consolidation trade for Jamal Murray. It's had varying results. The numbers when he plays are fantastic, but the missed games, trust me. Who else? It was Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell in advance of this year. And Mitchell didn't have a great year, but he's Donovan Mitchell. Okay. And then right before the trade deadline this year, I made another bundle trade for Jalen Green. And the bundle trade is like the Jamal Murray trade, for example, was Jaime Jaquez at the high point of his rookie year. So I sold high perfectly on Jaime Jaquez. Tari Eason, who I love, but, his role with Houston, it's kind of like starter, bench. He doesn't play in back-to-backs, but kind of hit a high because Eason was like really rolling. And I packaged them and I believe a second-round pick for Jamal Murray. And Jamal Murray was hurt at the time. Okay, boom, you have a trade. Jalen Green this year, I forget the trade, but I sent out a man, I can't even remember who I sent out for Jalen Green. Anyway, it's solid players and you attach picks to them. Okay, and I gave up. I held my first-round pick for this upcoming draft all year long, knowing that I was going to cash it in for a player to make a playoff run with. And literally the night of our trade deadline, I swung a 2-player. I sent my first and second round picks out too, to really kind of put it over the top and go get Jalen Green. And the guy said yes, and I got Jalen Green. So now I get young stud Jalen Green for the rest of his career. You gotta move and shake, guys. You can't just draft your team and have your little core. And no, you've got to have the core, and then you've got to add Jamal Murray. Okay, now I'm one stud better than pretty much. Now I add Donovan Mitchell. Now I'm 2 studs up on the rest of the pack. All right, now I add Jalen Green. Now I'm 3 studs up on the rest of the pack because I still have my core. And I'm sending out fringe players and draft picks for big time players. That's how you get over the top in dynasty leagues. I've won it back-to-back years, guys. I went 20-0-3, and this year I went 21-1-1. I've lost 1 game in 2 years in the Cam Dynasty. 14 teams, head-to-head, 8-cat, grindy, super competitive, bright brains in this league. And I've so far broken my league, and I've done it through trading. So now, get cracking. Go out there and make some sell-high, buy-low trades for your team. And again, it's about accumulating badasses. Don't be the guy that gets Jaquez, Eason, and picks for the monster. Bundle that stuff for the monster. One of my favorite guys, Les Snead, the GM of the Rams. This is before they won the Super Bowl, but it was the F them picks, right? Because they bundled all these picks to go get Matthew Stafford, and they won a Super Bowl through it. Now, it screwed them the next couple of years because they didn't have draft picks and their team kind of aged out and stuff like that, but they got the chip. They got the chip. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter if you suck the next 2 years. You won the chip, baby. Nobody will. The Rams won the fucking championship. Nobody will forget that, okay? F them picks. That's my number one. I never use my draft picks. In any sport, I trade them. Well, in football's different. In basketball, I'm always trying to trade my picks to get help me now players. And so many teams in Dynasty, they're like, they take the long haul and they've got all these young players and their teams suck and they get drilled and they're like 30 and 120 is their record. No, get some win now players, brah, and you will win now. All right, we're out. I appreciate y'all, you guys for watching, man. We have begun the off season of our fantasy coverage here on Sports Ethos. It is the Fantasy NBA today with Rick Kamla. I will be back up here in a minute with Dr. A, I believe, with another edition of the Fantasy NBA today, when we will look ahead to the play-in tournament. We've got some ATS, we've got some prop bets, and we've got some other stuff for you, man. So we'll see you over there. Bye-bye for now.